Hi there, I'm Johnny Recher, and I play Feder on Demon Days, an actual play podcast. Special thanks to Gordon McAlpin for creating the artwork for our show, and ArcKnight for providing us with minis and props for the table. That's ARCKNIGHT. And a hearty thanks to you, our audience, for all their support. Now, on with the show.
Friends, fiends, have I got a story to tell? So give me your finest ale. Gods, no, not that one. That's garbage. Seriously, I've had swamp water that tastes better. Anyway, when last I spoke, our heroes had just completed their downtime activities and went to sleep for the night. Well, some of them did. Dawn approaches our heroes, and this is where we'll begin these Demon Days.
Daylight crests into Trost, bringing with it a nice nip in the air. The weather has gotten colder and a little bit more tumultuous. And as the daylight hits you and you wake up into the later parts of the morning, it's a pretty drab and gray and cold day. And yeah, you find yourself in your rooms with the day ahead of you.
All right.
I'm still inspecting my book.
Okay.
I'll head downstairs and see if is there a continental breakfast here, or what's the story? Because if not, I'll ask if I can brew up some bean water, if I can make some coffee for myself in the kitchen, if they don't have.
As you go downstairs,
breakfast. They're actually catered by sausage and ale.
I've got some sausages and it should go back, guys.
Oh boy. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
How was your evening?
It was awesome. How was yours?
No.
Great. I slept very well.
Uneventful, yeah.
I come downstairs kind of like fixing my hair. It's very like bed ragged. And like...
Oh yeah, I'll do the old Prestidigipen. Bring the suit up a little.
Yeah. Great that you can make someone say something like that.
I'm just eating a sausage.
All right. Yeah. All right.
You ate a lot of it last night.
Yeah. As far as continental breakfast fixins, there's not a whole lot. There's some stale bread and some stale pastries, and poor Yarvish is at the hearth trying to cook up some kind of soup thing in preparation for people waking up in the morning. He looks like he just got there.
Right. Okay, so squad huddle real quick. So last night, as I was partaking, as it were, I did manage to get a bit of a tip about a way to perhaps get things, including ourselves, maybe up inside the various different levels, more unnoticed, more off the radar. I feel like at this point we've kind of committed to Triss being our escort, and though I think we vex her slightly, I believe she's probably going to, at some point, make an appearance. So... we should at least, for purposes of the necklace, I think, and that. But does anyone have any other things that they would need to go, or places they'd want to investigate, maybe sight unseen?
Not so much sight unseen. I need to make sure I stop by the forge.
Right.
Where Bramran is. And as far as sneaking into the upper echelon, I feel like we'll be better served if we're out in the open.
Certainly.
We stand out as it is, and if we are noticed and we're not supposed to be there, that wouldn't be good.
Cards on the table. Yarvish has got his head firmly up his ass. Yeah, he's not listening in on this.
No, he's too worried about getting that soup done.
Okay, cool. I'll just kind of lean in and be like, there is one thing that I've been tasked to try to do before I leave the city. I do apologize last time. I know the pants and the necklace got a little weird, and I'll try to at least some level involve you all, at least in the awareness of what's going on. Now, I fully understand if you guys have inferred enough about who I work for, keeping your distance. I wouldn't blame you at all, but I don't want to constantly be sneaking off, I quite enjoy hanging around with you lot, for better or worse, so there's all that. I know we have things to do outside the city, but I would love, perhaps, let's see what I can do today once we get the necklace back, and gonna play it by ear, if you guys don't mind.
I mean, after yesterday, I'm fine with whatever.
I mean, it would involve probably going back to Soup Guy at some point.
If I can go down into that space and take a look at more books, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I'm sure something could be arranged.
What are we talking about here? I'm not sure what you're...
Right, you were off for some of that.
The most magical soup you've ever had.
Yeah.
I like soup.
I work...
It's hot soup.
This place is literally called
Let me
Hot
guess.
Soup.
I was just about to say, it's hot soup is the name of
the name of the place.
It is
Genius.
just... It's like hit over the head with a brick.
You've probably heard, case in point, I know Barney...
Is cold milk a bar? Does that exist?
It might be.
If
Fee,
not, we can make
Zafan.
it happen at some point. I'm sure.
Last night, the person with the pants and the necklace, and I was retrieving him for her. I am employed by Fee and her sister to do odd jobs here and there. So there's something fairly minor they've asked me to look into. And I'd like to do that, just do my due diligence before we take off.
About 20 minutes, 3 minutes or so.
While we have some time in the... Well, I probably would have done this before I came out of the room, but like I'm gonna gather myself for the morning, and it's not so much praying for spells as it is, because like I don't pray, but I'm curious what that is like now.
Now that you've made your oath.
Mm-hmm.
For now, it ends up being more of a meditative trance, and you find yourself gently flowing down a river, a nondescript river. The water's nice and cold. The sun is hot on your back as you drift down it, seemingly not tossed to and fro, just gently gliding down the river. And you see lots of greens and all that. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but as you wake out of it, you feel a lot more at peace. There's something that was like just soothing about that, like more so than it has ever been. It was kind of tough to leave.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, this morning I'm still more focused than I was, but I just seem like I'm happier this morning.
All right. Yeah, everyone seems to notice that, especially considering where this whole thing began.
Right.
He stands straighter.
Chipper.
And yeah, Triss arrives, walks in, and just kind of sighs audibly.
Triss.
Just make sure we don't yell, please. Thank you.
It's
Oh,
not
no.
yelling. It's called thaumaturgy. Do you want to see it?
No.
Absolutely.
We need to whisper sweet
If
things.
I would
in
have
her
had,
ear.
if I'd have had a minute, right, I would have pushed Yarvish aside gently and
Yeah.
brewed up some coffee.
What? Oh, yes.
And I'll offer Triss
Sure. She
a
tries.
cup of coffee.
She takes it and
Good in the mornings. Help clear your head.
takes a few sips and brightens. Yes, this is more my speed.
If your quiet little hair of the dog, a little something stiff in there too, doesn't it?
Thank
shall
you.
we?
Yes, let's get up there. Let's as we get up there, if you have any business along the way, make sure to do it. We'll take a leisurely pace up. She snaps her fingers and leads you on out, and you start making your way through the city.
Great. On the way, I'll be like, Triss, do you know, I have her name. It's Medusa. What's her
Talia.
other name? Talia Medusa. Do you know where Talia Medusa resides? Do we need to determine that on
what
the
is she
way?
known for? Sorry, what is she known for?
Painter.
She looks like this, and I open the locket.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to guess, I would say probably one of the dormitories up there.
She painted quite a few of the pieces on the hall, in the inn.
Oh,
Yes.
those were very nice. Yeah, we can. There's an administrative building up there. Even the gate master has all that information. So when we get up there, they'll know. I don't mind much of that place. But
So on the way up, stop by the
yeah, you
the forge and
you see Bramran hard at work. Chipper as always.
I don't know about Chipper, but he's kind of sullen and spacing out.
Well, you are a
until
chipper.
Until he sees you.
You're a chip off the old block. Chipper.
No Mason jokes.
no.
Is that a Stonebreaker joke?
That absolutely is.
Are you making fun of my heritage?
I don't think it's making fun of as
storied clan.
attempting to make a joke.
Anyway, no, he's kind. You see when you walk up, you see him kind of. He's kind of spacing out with a very kind of grim look on his face, and once he notices you, he kind of perks up a little, and appears to cheer up a little. So he says, "Hello,
Morning.
I think we're growing on him.
How'd the glass do?"
He kind of reaches behind the chair or the bench that he was seated on, and he pulls out the thing wrapped in some cloth and opens it up to show you.
Fantastic. Did you take it out this morning?
I did.
Thank you. I appreciate it. What's the Dragonborn's name again?
Majira.
Majira, I say. Majira. And I just kind of hold it up. I'm like, where should I put this?
She pops up because she was hammering away at something. She looks up. We have a shelving or something in the back. Just put it on there to cool off and all that stuff.
Okay.
You'll see other things that are a lot more designery. Put it there and it'll be good.
Okay.
So then, Yusuf, you'll have to come back a third time to retrieve it, or
No, I'm
you
actually.
selling it on commission?
I'm leaving it here for them to sell.
No, very good.
And Majiro does a wave, just kind of like what a dragonborn might do. It's not exactly the most graceful thing, but you catch it.
Yeah. Set it up. Come back. We're heading up top. If you want to take a break and join us.
That's what you said yesterday. A little fuzzy.
We're heading farther up top.
Oh, yeah. Up is up.
Trist chimes in. It's a chance to see the upper reach. All those bright young people learning things. It's amazing.
I've been there once or twice. I don't know what took you guys so long to get up there. Sorry.
Fair.
We get up there, it's all burned down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, oops.
Burned down by the campaign Big Bad.
Oops. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Bramran, Joey,
Sure.
on the way, I am still, just because now I got a bug, incidental crime, and also like thieves can't in signs, more of the sigil
okay.
kind of based of it, of like, so-and-so's whatever shop with like something that would indicate that they're living that life.
Just as you're going up the levels. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. You're on a perception?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Roll that perception.
21.
21. Okay, yeah. We'll keep that in mind.
Cool.
All right. So, you guys make your way further into the city. There are 3 main roads within the second level of Trost that lead up to the next by way of a massive ornate stair. The guard details surrounding these are heavier than you've seen before, with a lot more scrutiny dished out to people coming and going. You are stopped by a small regiment of guard as you reach the centermost stair. A captain in armor resembling a bear steps forward and speaks a few words with Triss. He's got a large volume and pen in hand. She is able to give him all the information he needs, and he nods you all through, although he looks at each and every one of you with a little bit of concern, but natural for a guard of his status. He says before you pass on, you are granted entry into the next level of Trost under the condition that you return to this level or below before the curfew commences at sunset. This is to ensure the safety of those above us and maintain order within all...
Yeah, I've heard it before. And I just kind of walk past him.
Yes, sir. And
I will listen.
Triss kind of pats his armor and leads you guys.
I chuckle a little bit.
I will listen very intently to this guy's spiel, the tenor of his voice, and at any point did Triss say his name?
Make another roll on that for, I guess, perception.
Okay. Oh, natural 1. Nope.
Woo!
Bear
Nope.
guy.
Nope. It was
bear guy.
Senior
Bear
bear guy.
his name is Beryl Gurla. No. Oh, boy. No, just kidding.
Oh man.
The stone stairway leads you up quite a distance to the next level of Trost, which houses both, as you were told, the military ward and the upper reach. Upon arrival, you first notice a main street that runs the entire perimeter of this level, allowing you a breathtaking view of the city below as you travel. The military presence here is almost oppressive, with almost everyone you pass bearing the armor of a lion, a bear, an eagle, or a wolf. They all give you a glance before resuming their attention to their patrols. Triss nods to a few of them as they walk by. She's very familiar with this area. The first building you notice up here is and Triss points this out to you, the Tempest Citadel. It's a massive dome cathedral partially obscured by a large wall surrounding the perimeter. Patrolling on the tops of this wall and watching from evenly spaced outlooks are a sizable amount of soldiers in lion armor. From each outlook, there's a small grouping of soldiers with bows and crossbows aimed at the ready in case anyone gets too close. They have their bows trained on you, but it is a precaution. You guys continue on, though, past that and to the left, and you keep going. You start to make your way in the direction of the upper reach, which you can see ahead, kind of up above at like a half level. You navigate through various barrack towns and training grounds. It takes you a while, but you finally make it to these lavish gates leading into the educational district of the city. There's a lean-to just outside this little landing area, guarded by a large regiment of soldiers in bear and wolf armor, and a queue of people waiting to get inside. A clerk in modest black robes with yellow trim sits within the small structure and grants people passage. Triss also nods in acknowledgement to him, and he, too, nods as well. He steps up, gets up from his desk and walks over to you guys with he grabs about as many bands as there are, you guys, and he says, As part of a precaution, we put these on as location in case anything is to go wrong. There's no ill effects. This is just something that we can scry in the case of emergency. While you're up here amongst our students, here you go. These are required before passing through. He hands it to Triss, these bands, and she passes them each to you. They're just simple bands that they're kind of wide. They just jangle a little bit, but they're not like oppressive.
Okay,
Simple
it doesn't
bands
click.
to
It doesn't
watch us by.
restrict. I just kind of stare at Yusuf and Tazlin. What my eyes are saying is I don't particularly like to be tracked or to be necessarily bound, but
Triss does notice your apprehension.
Yeah,
better.
I hesitate too.
And she mentions, this is temporary. You can toss them as soon as you leave this place. We don't rightly care. They're cheap, but they're just a trace point for us in case something up above goes wrong.
understood. You can understand our reservation.
Understand, yes.
Yeah. All right.
It is more of crossing our T's and dotting our I's, as it
certainly.
were. Because, again, I am leading you guys in, and if something goes wrong and I cannot report of you, that is the end of my career.
Understood. What say you all?
I put one on.
And it's just a simple band. It is light. Nothing to it. It doesn't even latch. It just kind of sits on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nothing special about it.
I actually take mine and I clip it into the little carrier that I have for my tarot cards on my side.
Okay. And yeah, the rest of you guys put them on?
Bramran's already put his on, but he notices some engraving on the inside. He goes, "Live strong." What?
It's, the ASMR say that a lot. The clerk nods in approval. Thank you, folks. Continue on. You may go through. And nice to see you again, Triss. And she nods curtly. And he's like, cool. Goes back to his place screening other people.
So we're on tier 3 now. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
They motion for you to pass through and opening the gates just enough to grant you entrance. Immediately, you notice the building's kind of up on this half level. Opt for a blend of Tudor and Victorian style and feature a lot more flourish than the areas below. They spent some budget here. Parks and gardens are peppered throughout, with which are comprised multiple stories, a few different levels of park. It's a bit different from the previous floors, the previous levels of Trost, and very beautiful. Think with the colder weather and the light snowfall that, these commons would be empty, but there's a heavy throng of students passing to and fro, coming and going, all eager to get to their classes or just lounging out and about. The place has an eager, lively feel. Almost immediately, you come across a moderately sized Victorian-style structure with a maroon facade and black trim. There's a signpost above the entry that reads, expectedly, administration. And you make your way inside, noting the musty, bookish smell as you enter. You see, as Triss guides you in, artwork that lines the hall of this building, and not all of it is from Talia Medusa. You see a few that you recognize, like copies of from below, or lower levels. But a lot of different art, a lot of it very immaculate and very well done. As you pass through, you notice that each adjoining room in this long hallway is its own office, with shelves neatly packed with ledgers and manuscripts and other books. You see a small smattering of people in each room, poring over information in each of these in more of an official, more in an office way. At the end of the main hall is a larger room, a more official-looking and ornate room from your vantage point. And through the doorway, you see a half-elf man notice you and approach. He's got moderate height. He's slim with long gray hair pinned back into a ponytail. One eye is blue and the other eye is green. He wears proper attire with a long sleeve button-up and vest. It's hard to tell his age, but he looks a little on the older side. Yes, may I help you? Triss kind of bows politely, points to each of you. These are guests. They are looking for a specific someone. We've given them passage through. They are banded. And this is where I must leave you all. Our friend here, Fenris, can help you out. Good day. She nods curtly to each of you and starts to back towards the door.
Oh, Triss, I'm going to miss you.
Sure. And she...
I blow her a little kiss.
She...
Thank you.
As a testament to how
Trost.
much you've been through together, she reluctantly catches it and bows out and leaves.
Trost, we should have no issue heading down as long as we're heading downward.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. This band gives you a little bit of... I mean, it's noticeable. It gives you a bit of leeway here. And now that you are talking to the administrators, you're good.
Okay, but we shouldn't have any issues in the second level.
No.
Okay.
And she makes her leave of you. Fenris, who is named, he looks you over. So yes, you're visiting us for what reason?
We're looking for a student, I think. Her name is Talia Medusa, and we have something that belongs to her. An heirloom, something important.
Talia Medusa, sure. He reaches down. There's a moderate-sized book attached to his hip by a long chain. And just, you can see it starts to say directory, but some of the words have faded a little bit. He pulls it up, opens it, skims through it with long fingers. Yes. That would be the Wolf Dormitory, ZFR 305. He gives you visual directions, kind of pointing with his hands. You pass through the street there and go along. If you want, if you give me maybe just a minute, I can clear up my work here and lead you to the place and guide you. The Wolf Dormitory is our biggest dormitory, and it is a little confusing, I will admit. If you wish, I can take you. Or if you want to deal with it yourselves, that is totally fine.
I think if you think that we would be not meet with any grand resistance now that we are banded, I believe we will take our leave of you and let you be about your business.
Thank you. Thank you for the consideration. Yes. If you find yourself lost in the dormitory, there are signs pointing to various directions, and that number code will get you very far, and any of the students there will know exactly where you need to go.
Very good. Thank you very much, Fenris.
Thank you all. Enjoy your stay up here in the upper reach, and don't stay too long. He kind of does a uncharacteristic wink that suggests he might be bantering, and then he just makes his leave
back.
of you.
Yeah.
He's pleased, and makes his way back to his work.
I lean a little bit over to Lisa, and I'm like, they really love the animal themes here.
Mm-hmm. And it's all the same.
Yeah.
Wolf, lion, eagle, bear.
Yeah, I wonder.
It was the same as the coins that we had last night.
It's true.
It's like there's a theme.
Bramran, is there some liturgical or historical significance to all the animal themes?
I'm not sure that I would know that. Unless I know something about the masonry.
I mean, you craft the arm. You've crafted arms, yes. What are the different?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I would say roll history check on that. Just a simple history check.
It's like the very straightforward names of everything.
Okay. 16.
16? Yeah, that's good enough. You've been here long enough to kind of catch the motif of the animals participating in the storm or the circle of nature, and their part to play is tempestuous, and that all feeds into this glory of life and death and battle and the battle of nature. Yeah, it does have religious significance in terms of the Stormlord chord and the way these people are.
That.
Interesting.
I'd say that. Something about, yeah.
All right. On the way there, I'm going to pull Taslin aside and just say, you have some skill in the arcane, yes?
I would say more than some, but yes.
Well, not to presume. Will you can you help me keep an eye on? I'm curious about these various wards that seem to pop up every once in a while. Are they something we can see visually, or are they inscribed somewhere? I mean, it seems like there's a variety of them for different things, and I've tried to keep an eye out, but I haven't really. We seem to be in constant threat of having someone's eyes on us, or having something dampened or revoked, and I just would like to know if push comes to shove, if there's some way to manipulate that.
I suppose I haven't really been noticing, but if you point them out or I feel them, I'd certainly inspect.
Okay.
I mean, I partially put this bracelet on this part because I hooked it here instead of putting it in my arm in case we needed to ditch them quickly.
Sure. Hate to be paranoid, but doesn't hurt to keep an eye out.
You make your leave of the administrative building and start to head north, per the directions of Fenris that he gave you. And you see after a time, you see the Wolf Dormitory, a long Baroque-style building with a courtyard and archway entrance out front. A lot of real estate. One of the first things you notice upon entering the area is that there's not a male to be seen anywhere. You see humans with a smattering of Aasimar, Furbolg, and half-elf, and all female. Those that notice you give you a brief concerned look, hurry their step, but otherwise, move on to whatever they're doing. You see a few tall trees that dot the courtyard with wooden seating that wraps around the base in kind of like an elegant little bench design that wraps around the tree itself. On one of these, you happen to notice a frazzled-looking Barney strumming away at a lute. She doesn't seem to notice you, but on her lap rests an Aasimar, just resting her head on her lap, looking relaxed. The music is faint and gentle, and she seems to be more just humming softly, and again, pays you no mind as you continue through. Come on.
Yeah.
Inside the dormitory,
So much hate for our lovely Barney.
She's serenading, it seems like. Inside the dormitory is, like it was said from Fenris, a bit of a labyrinth. The corridors and stairs and halls going in all directions is a bit intimidating at first, but like he also said, the signs do point you in the direction you need to go. And you take about maybe 10-15 minutes of travel. You finally reach a doorway with that code on it, ZFR 305, and next to it you see characters written Talia M, and a spot under her name where another person might be, but it looks erased kind of hurriedly. You are at the door.
Well, shall we?
It takes a moment. 1 second. You hear a few footsteps, faint footsteps, tut, 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 and the door opens, and you see before you a bright blue-haired gnome that looks up at you. Her hair is pulled back into a ponytail with a few strands that escape. Paint dabs over her face and hair, and just kind of all over as if she wasn't too attentive. Goggles rest atop her head, and around her neck is a wolf pendant. She looks between you all confused and kind of tilts her head. May I help you?
Talia Medusa?
Yes. Who are you?
My name is Yusuf. We have sought you out to return something that we believe you would want. I reach into my satchel and I pull out the locket and I offer it to her.
Her eyes go wide when she sees the locket, and she snatches it from you faster than you might have expected. She looks at it for a while and sniffs a little bit, and you can see kind of on the sides of her face moisture as she looks it over. She pops it open, stares at it for a while. Where did you find this?
It was on the body of a woman, and I'm assuming you know who that is. We do not know her name.
If Talia could shrink anymore in her frame, she would. Let's see. She's able to stand, but you sense she starts to shake a little bit.
I know this may seem very difficult, but we retrieved this under some very fraught circumstances, and we'd like to, if you're able and comfortable, ask you a few questions.
She pops open her locket as well, kind of yanks it off of her neck and pops open, looks. Yeah, Come in. The place is not very big. It'll be kind of cramped. You walk in, and true to form, it is a really small place. But all of you are able to fit. She sits next to an easel of a half-painted picture of the Aasimar woman you saw.
What was her name?
Her name was Alcina?
Alcina.
Alcina Gresimira? I guess you could say we were sisters. We were adopted sisters. She lost her parents. And I lost mine, and it seemed kind of convenient. She was really into making her ascension.
So she was a student here with you as well?
Only one of us could afford to go. She took to adventuring to get me in, and she was good at it, and the money I needed, but she could not afford it. So she enlisted. For a while that worked, and she couldn't quite master the Pit of Storms, could never fully ascend, so after a time, she left, took up adventuring.
When did you see her last?
We spoke once before she left, very briefly. She was excited, excited to be out and about and on the adventure. The thought of meeting combat and proving something, that she was worthy, seemed like a good plan. I didn't want her to go, and I never wanted to go.
Was she alone when she left?
Well, I imagine not. I imagine there were more than just her going, but when we saw each other, it was just her. She was geared up and really excited.
Did she tell you anything about her adventure beyond her excitement, where she was going, how you could reach her?
She said she wouldn't be far, that if those green lights kept going in the mountain, that I could look at them and know she was over there figuring it out.
So that's why she went for the green lights.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know much more, but it is a good view from out here in the campus.
Somewhere
Did you-
over the Green Mountain?
Did you, on the New Year, did you see the lights? Did you feel the earthquake?
I did. And I have to admit, I was worried. I didn't sleep that night. And I guess I know why.
Well, I'll reach out, try to put my stay hand to comfort her on her shoulder, wherever it makes sense.
Yeah. But now the waterworks are going.
Please know, she died in valor. These 4 lives are alive today, partly because of her fight.
I see.
And for that we are grateful.
I see. That would have pleased her.
Point of order.
Yeah.
She was the one that we found in the dungeon, correct? Yeah. Okay.
In this hall.
Cool. Before she left, did she seem entirely herself? Like she was with you?
Yeah. Just very eager and had her wits about her, I guess. Is that what you mean? Like under some spell or something? Or?
Just that she would remember your conversation.
Oh, yeah. She seemed to know who I was.
How long ago did she leave?
Not too long after the green light started.
When did they start?
She thinks back. Roughly, if I had to put a date to it, fiscal 3, I think. Because I do remember thinking it kind of odd that it was the last month before the year. before the year end, the year turned, and I was like, maybe it was some sort of celebratory thing or some, I don't know, magical shenanigans. I mean, that's probably ridiculous. I mean, why would that be caused by anything but a storm or some weird freak thing? I don't know.
I don't think anything seems ridiculous after what we saw on that mountain. Your sister was really brave. And I'm sorry to keep asking so many questions, but
It's okay.
did she have any other friends, any other people that she left behind?
And she tears up more. No. She had me.
I'm so sorry. I know what it's like to be two alone in the world.
It's
And
a
to have
little-
it become one.
Yeah.
How was she contacted for her employment? Do you know? How did she ask about for people looking for employ of adventurers?
She didn't say, but I mean, with those types of things, any old tavern or bar, people tend to talk, and we don't get to go out too much, at least outside of our campus, but that's usually, maybe the Maiden of Storms. I mean, it's big enough to where anyone could rent out space on one of the floors and organize a party, and I mean, it is very easy.
Yeah, did she? I know you reside here now at the school.
Yeah.
Did she keep a residence elsewhere in the city, or was she staying with you, or?
We managed to get a small little place on the second level. Not a great place, but it was out of Vagabond Row. I wouldn't have been able to get up any further, but she did what she could to get us closer to the top. It was
As they were kind of like talking about her and the waterworks started, Taslin actually got kind of like really stiff and walked out.
Walked out?
Yeah, she's just hanging out in the hallway.
Hanging out in the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
While you're out in the hallway and you hear them asking questions back and forth, just do a quick charisma saving throw.
Ho 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 ho. Oh, thank God. 12.
12. As you're sitting out there, you have stopped paying attention to their talking. You, in the back of your mind, start to hear a faint, gnarled, drippy voice just chant something imperceptible. It is very faint, but it just is the weirdest sound. You look around and, I mean, this is a normal hallway in a large building, but it just keeps chanting over and over again, and it rises and falls in intensity, and eventually it just dissipates as if nothing were there. And you can barely even remember, like it was there and then it was gone.
Can I do like a Arcana?
Sure.
Mm-mm-mm. 15.
There's something familiar about this. And as you're thinking on this, you do get a slight headache in the back of your head, and this does feel very familiar. But it's hard to place. You've felt this before, but you don't really remember.
Can I insight check Talia?
Sure.
She's a bard, and seeing Barney just made me remember how good they are at fucking with
I'll
people.
do the same thing with my ears of deceit.
Sick.
Oh no.
I'm really glad you did it.
Hey, I'm really glad I have this feat. Because that
Yeah, because he didn't roll very well.
3 becomes, I believe, an 8. Here, let's see.
Well, I rolled a
I
natural
want to make sure.
Ooh.
So it turns out I'm a sympathy crier, guys.
Oh yeah, you are. You've wrapped your arm around her and you've just started letting her cry. She can't play it tough anymore.
Okay, so perception, then that becomes a 13.
13.
Yeah.
You don't notice anything out of the ordinary from Talia, or anything sinister or meditated or planned or anything spell related. She's the genuine article in grieving.
Talia, was she still in residence there before she left? Did you guys keep that place after you moved up here?
She did. I did not. I kept my stuff with me, and she kept the place up. And
would it be... I know, a bit impolite, but would it be all right if, just because of the mystery...
if we took a look at it.
If we went and took a look, would you give us the address?
she takes a moment, kind of wipes her eyes, and composes herself. I suppose not. I guess I would ask that if there's anything there of hers, just leave it as is. Anything important, like, don't steal anything.
Certainly. If we find anything that is particularly pertinent to the questions that we are seeking answers to, we will leave you a small compensation and some sort of written note of anything that was moved or was placed.
Yes, now that I know she will not be coming back, I should arrange for the stuff to be moved. She, after a while, she's finally composed herself. She does look back to you, Yusa, for a moment, and just kind of eyes you. She eyes you. You remind me of something. Someone, or it's more of a legend or something. Have you ever been to Dagnarus?
What is that? The
gnome.
The gnome place.
Yeah.
Like, yes. Why do you ask?
Well, I'm originally from there, and I've heard of.
He kind of dips his head a little bit and just kind of nods and smiles. He's like,
I've heard of. Well, there's stories. They're gnomish children. There sometimes hear stories, and while I had parents, they gave me an interesting story of the Red Devil of Dagnarus.
I just kind of glance at the other two.
Okay.
I'm just like, man. He kind of blushes a little bit.
In the story, they say Hell had enough of his shenanigans and spat him back out into the material plane, or so the rumor went. He landed in our home and was our protector. I don't know. There are some things in the description that remind me of it. A nice little memory of bedtime stories.
Well, legends often sprout from somewhere. Maybe there is such a person out there.
Maybe. Yes, you all may go check it out. She writes down the address. It's a tucked away place in Merchant Town. Strangely enough, amongst the smithy's anvil and the housing that's there for the smithers. Or rather, as you've passed it around, Bramran, you recognize that as a smithy's anvil address, whereas you guys might not necessarily.
Okay. I point that out.
Okay.
Very good then. We'll be in town.
Lesa, quick, do a Constitution saving throw.
19.
You start to get a headache in the back of your head, and it's painful. Talia sighs.
I'm gonna kind of like poke my head around the door and be like, try and get Fetter's attention. Fetter.
What?
Come here.
Talia, if you'll excuse me for a moment.
Sure, yes.
Back out.
You're excused.
Yeah, what's going on?
Something weird. Listen. Just like really listen.
Okay.
You hear nothing.
You don't hear anything?
No.
There's There's, oh God.
What was it?
It was a sound. It was, I can't quite place it.
Do you think we're being followed?
No, it was magical. The
bracelet?
No. It reminded me of the mountain.
Interesting. Do you think it's because we're here?
I don't know. Something's off. Something's just wrong.
And Yusuf and Bramran, you guys are in there, but you can kind of hear them talking, unless you guys are whispering.
Yeah.
This is a stage whisper.
Okay,
Yeah,
then you just know that they've left and they're not in the room anymore. And Talia's just kind of.
Yeah, if she's still like, I'm consoling her as best I can.
And they say your head really hurts.
Bramran is just very confused, and and that's about it. He's you guys keep half telling him why you're doing things, and he doesn't know what's going on. So yeah, he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, Yusuf, you notice that Bramran is starting to look very confused and, like you said, and uncomfortable in this place.
Well, thank you, Talia, for your time. I'm sorry we were the bearers of bad news.
And that's okay.
But
Bramran, quick, roll a perception check.
Passive perception or
active?
Should this be an active one?
Active one. Roll, like, because you're trying to look anywhere but at her, and you have this opportunity to notice.
Okay. Well, I got a perception, so I got a 12.
12. You're confused. You're trying to figure out why you're here. You happen to look off to the side, and you notice a rough sketch design or blueprint or outline of the sign for Sarah's Salacious Spa. It's tucked behind a few things, but you notice the features.
The salacious features.
Yep.
So that I just kind of walk over to it and without being too invasive, she's an artist. I just figure it's art. So who worked on it? I recognize it. I don't want to interrupt the conversation, and I kind of, maybe nudge it a little bit to see it better, and just kind of look at it more closely.
Sure. Also, while you're doing that, just a quick dex save.
A dex save, okay.
Yeah. Because it's kind of behind some things. Some things are stacked on it.
All right. Well, I got a 1.
Amazing. You kind of
so
try to.
I guess I knock it all over.
You get a hold of the picture. You kind of grab at it, and you manage to grab it, but because of the kind of the thickness of your fingers, you bump into the stuff around it, and there's a book that falls over, knocks into another thing, and a basic domino effect of a bunch of manuscripts falling down, and you're still holding on to the picture of Sarah as everyone kind of looks over and sees what that racket was. Yusuf, you see it,
and so Sarah's the naked dwarf statue, right?
Yes.
So yeah. So now I'm standing with a naked dwarf, a drawing of a naked dwarf, and I'm like,
There's a long beat of silence before, surprisingly, Talia starts to laugh a little bit. You found that.
He was a little interested in that statue the other night because we went to the spa and did you?
Very finely crafted. Yes.
Yes.
At the sound of the crashing and banging in there, I'm just gonna be like, shit, and I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna duck back in, just almost like hand in my coat, but not like out, and just jump in
and
back into the room.
Yeah, you see a gnome laughing her ass off now at this point, and Bramran awkwardly holding a picture of a naked dwarf.
How does Lysa look?
She
a little.
She looks a little out of it, actually. She's like, you've not seen this expression on her.
And I'll look at her
Looks pained.
and look back towards the door, and I'll be like, Ms. Medusa, thank you very much. Before we cause any more chaos in your life, I think we'll take our leave of you. We'll let you know if... we'll leave notice if anything there pertains to the mysteries that we're trying to investigate.
Sure. What was your name, dwarf?
Bramran Stonebreaker.
Bramran. You can have that picture if you want.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I roll it up very delicately and stow it.
Okay. And it is a well-designed picture.
Bramran kind of reaches into his pouch to try to offer a couple, a gold or two at least. He's I'm not much for drawings, but
she reaches her small hand and kind of places it on yours, and it is so much smaller compared to yours. She's like, don't worry about it. It was a fun design, and I have no more use of it. It's just there, and you gave me a nice moment, a nice reprieve. Thank you. She does not take your money.
do you know Sarah then?
She she's a funny individual. She came by and requested it, and I guess people recommended me for designing or something, and she had who did she have? Who was she trying? She claimed that she had a dragon person making something for her. I don't know.
Would I know any dragon masons?
Yeah.
Dragonborn masons?
If you want to do,
isn't
Given-
his boss a dragonborn mason?
Well, I mean,
she had white scales and
any white dragonborns? Is that my boss? I don't know.
yes, it is.
Yes, it is your boss.
Yes.
As
soon as she mentions,
remember.
And it's interesting because your boss, Majira, has not been very vocal about her own personal projects. But yeah, it's an interesting point of something you may have over your boss in terms of interesting story or information.
I feel like I might have seen. I wouldn't have seen it at the. I mean, it's a forge, not a mason thing. But obviously, I do both.
Right, you
mason and a
wait.
blacksmith.
So did you only do the design, Miss Medusa, or did you make the statue?
I just did the design. I drew the plans for it, and it's the first time I wanted to do it. It was the first time I ever.
The statue was very well crafted. Only a very experienced stonemason could create such a thing. It's
Like your boss?
Fine.
Your boss. You worked at the what was it? It was
The flame strike?
something like that. The flame strike, the fire strike.
Sounds good to me.
Sarah seemed really excited. She had never seen she loved the fact that a dragon person was making her stone likeness, and Sarah was like, make sure that my breasts were really well defined, and I was like, okay, cool.
She succeeded admirably.
Interesting. Yeah, no, go ahead, keep the picture. It was a fun time. That's interesting.
Lisa's got tears in her eyes because she hurts, but she wants to respond to this.
Yeah, there's this mix between pain and amusement for Lisa. And she's like, ha ha, ow, ha ha, ow, ha ha, ow.
Wait, I need to get going. I am so sorry, Talia.
Oh, that's fine. Yes, don't let me keep you.
Are you all right?
Oh, yeah, I've already got
Are you okay?
Yeah,
a hand kind of slid up under her arm. And, yeah, we should go.
Okay, well, if you're ever around the area again, just feel free to stop by. And she sees you all to the hallway again and gently closes the door behind her. gently nudging each of you out and going back to her grieving process.
Okay.
You all find yourselves out in the hallway.
So I'm gonna like try to huddle us up real quick, and be like, something's going on. What just happened, Lisa?
Just a flash of pain in the back of my head. Well, not a flash. It's just it hurts. It came out of nowhere.
And what happened to you?
I heard something in the hallway that wasn't right. It was whispering. It was repeating.
Is the pain in my head similar to what I felt when I flashed toward the mountain before I lost my memory?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yusuf, do a dex save.
Jeez, charisma, constitution, dex, we're in all of them.
Yeah, it seems to be the lowest score for everybody.
Actually, charisma was my
9.
highest. Boom.
9. You start, you're trying to figure out what's going on with everybody. You feel really weak in the knees, and you collapse to on your hands and knees. Just suddenly, you're suddenly looking at the floor. Just
Okay. So when that happens, I have a feat called Eye for Detail as part of my class. That says you can use a bonus action to make a perception check to spot a hidden creature or object, or to make an investigation check to uncover or decipher clues.
Okay.
And I just want to do both sides of the hallway just to see if anything's trying to get the drop on us or something. So that is a 21.
21. You don't perceive anything causing people to like your party to fall over or have a headache, but you sense a change in the air.
Okay.
Something feels wrong.
I've got like my hands cupped into my sleeves to go for the stashed daggers on my forearms.
But apart from that, the hallway seems normal. It's just you feel this effect. You're starting to notice this effect on everybody and the wrong feeling of it.
I could have sworn I was just in this position, only vertical. What's going on?
God damn it.
Bramran, you notice these tiefling friends of yours, they're starting to act a little weird.
I'm looking around I'm looking at them to see if I can tell what's wrong. I'm looking around to see if they're under attack by some sort of,
magic user or entity or whatever. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on enough to do anything beyond that.
Okay.
I will kind of instinctively put my hand on my warhammer.
Feder.
Shit.
Roll a charisma saving throw.
Uh, 14.
14?
Yeah.
You manage to catch it, and it doesn't affect you, but you feel this urge to leave the building. Just head out, the exit. Something like this place feels small, but because of your high roll and you're just the state you were in, you managed to suppress it. But that act of being able to suppress it does alarm you a bit.
Okay. Something just tried to nudge me to go.
You got it. You got it. You got it too.
Yes. So
I think we all have it at this point.
So
I try to stand.
I feel like
That's
I
fine.
did before we were on the mountain. I don't know what to do.
two things. The force to go, the fact that I was thinking that perhaps we should go, because I sure as hell don't want to be used as somebody else's puppet again. But the fact that the message that was sent to me was to try to go almost makes me want to stay and figure out what the fuck's going on.
Why here? Why by Talia?
Her blood? No, it's not her blood. They weren't actual sisters.
The lockets.
That's a very thin thread.
Has anybody in the party not been targeted yet?
You.
Huh. Okay. I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself. I guess.
Okay.
That wards me against attack. If anybody targets me with an attack or a harmful spell, they must first make a Wisdom saving throw.
Gotcha. Okay.
On a failed save, they need to choose a new target or lose the attack or spell.
Gotcha. How long does that last?
1 minute.
1 minute? Okay.
Can either of you see...
Fetter.
Yes.
When it wanted you to go, where did you want to go?
Outside, out of here.
Just outside or
Out of the building.
in a particular direction?
Claustrophobic. No, literally away from this spot. Which is where I was headed until that happened.
Taslin, what did you hear? Did you want anything? Could you understand it?
It was it was sounds. It was
I draw my sword.
Okay. And Bramran, you see Yusuf draw his sword.
she kind of like I'm struggling to kind of like remember. I'm like, I think it was chanting. It was chanting something.
Did you recognize the language or anything?
It was gone before I could really.
Can anyone see the arcane? Can anyone... I've been trying to look again, boards, sigils. There seems like something being done to us.
When I was hearing the chanting,
Uh-huh.
did it just kind of come out of nowhere and fade out of nowhere, or did it seem like it was going in a particular direction?
Kind of came out of nowhere and left back to nowhere.
And it was... No, because...
As a point of comparison, like when you were in the crypt and the Raven Queen was around you, that felt different. That was like a caress, an embrace, more of a whispered, sweet nothing. It felt safer. This just felt invasive to the back of your mind. Like, it was faint and you could hear it, but it was foreign. It felt foreign. And Lisa, your headache starts to subside a bit.
What are the rooms directly adjacent, kind of to where we are in the hallway?
It's just a long hallway of other rooms with similar doors with two names on it. Actually, all of them, as you notice, have two names on there. Talia's is the only one without a name.
The name on Talia's door, though, looks rubbed out.
Yeah.
Is there anything left of it? Like, can I investigate and see if there's any, like...
Sure, go ahead.
Latent marks or whatever? Jesus balls. All right. Well, sick. That's a natural one.
It's just dark smudges.
It's too late for me to assist her with that, I guess.
Are there any windows in this hallway looking outside?
Not immediately. If you get to the end of the hall, there's a nice stained glass window. Not stained glass, but just like a nice tall glass window that you can see out into.
I moved to that window.
Okay.
I'm going to knock on the door again.
On Talia's door?
Yeah.
Sure.
Talia?
She opens the door slightly, looks out. Yeah, yes?
I'm very sorry.
Oh, no, don't worry.
At first, I assumed the nameplate on your door meant that you'd roomed here with your sister. Did you have a roommate?
I did have a roommate a while ago when I first joined. They died. It was a furbolg. I guess they weren't. I would not. I'd rather not talk about it. So yeah, she's evasive of explaining further, but it doesn't sound sinister in nature. It seems like not a good situation.
Okay. This was longer than a month ago, yeah?
Yes, it was my first week here. And let's just say, like, since then, no one wants to be in the dormitory where someone died.
Why have you stayed? Did they not give you the option to switch?
They did. I just felt that I shouldn't let something like this control my life. Death is part of it, and it is, I guess, a natural way, I suppose. But death happens. I cannot escape it. They didn't escape it.
Ear for deceit, please.
Insight.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Well, the 6 becomes an 8, so
My 6 stays a 6, and so does my 5.
plus 7, so 15.
15?
Yeah.
She's being honest.
All
And
right.
you get the sense that, like, that she doesn't seem too superstitious about something like that,
Right.
but a lot more artsy types might.
Sure. All right. Sorry to bother you again.
Oh, no problem. Are you feeling okay? You look a little...
No, it's okay.
Okay. All right.
We spared you the details of what happened to us.
I'm sorry if anything bad happened.
Yeah. But if anyone comes around, if anyone also follows up asking questions about your sister, please, we're at the Heavenly Rest.
Sure.
Please come and find us, yes?
Okay. I will.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And she gently closes the door, latches it.
During all that, I kind of like turned to you, Slip, and I was like, put your sword away.
Sheath it.
Okay.
Are there other floors to the building? Are there other...
Yeah,
like
5 or 6. It's pretty big.
I mean, I've got no sense of whether there's something else here, or just anytime someone tries to push me out the door, I reflexively put my foot.
Yeah.
Have there been any other students in this hallway since we've been out there?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm going to go down to the window
Okay.
and take a look outside.
The window almost overlooks the courtyard where you were, but off enough to where you kind of have to tilt your head a little bit to see.
You know, I just want to point out that we are all wearing scrying devices on our persons, so there's a very good chance that they don't have line of sight on us. If it is somebody targeting us with a magic spell, out of character, by the way.
No, that's true, but I don't necessarily know that this is coming from the city or its normal inhabitants. Should we go outside?
Yeah, let's cautiously make our way out, I suppose.
I think we should get to Alcina's place.
Yeah.
Have a look around. Bran, you said it's in your neighborhood?
Did I?
Oh, no, you didn't. My bad. Shit.
He recognized the address.
You recognize the address, but I don't know if you specified.
Okay.
I mean, if it was a mason, it was probably in my ward.
Well, let's make all haste. If someone was spying on us, they're probably headed that way.
Yeah, you guys make your way down. Surprisingly easy to get your way out of the dormitory. The half-elf was right.
As we're leaving the dormitory, I'm actually going to... I guess I should probably roll... Unless I may not need to roll a sleight of hand. But I'm going to unlatch my tarot card holder and just kind of let the bracelet naturally, slip out.
Okay. No, you don't need to. No one's at that immediate entryway of the place. And yeah, it just clacks. It has a reverberating sound, but there's no one to really pay attention. And yeah, you guys make your way out into the courtyard.
And just eyes out for people that look out of place or anything.
Anyone looking at us.
As we're booking it, not full sprint, but as we're quickly making our way out of the...
Yeah. You still see Barney over there serenading the Asimar woman at the tree, and a bunch of other students are walking to and fro. The only people eyeing you suspiciously again are the people who see you for the first time. You are a little bit different looking, and you're kind of booking it really fast. I would say do a perception check.
Yeah.
I'll give
I'm
you
helping.
advantage.
Okay.
I guess.
17.
17? Yeah. Awesome. The air, you feel the air thicker around you, more humid than would be expected for something this high up.
Mm-hmm.
Does Taslin feel it too? Or did I get the character name right?
Yeah, no,
the
you
one
did.
Who took off her wrist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tesla.
All of you feel that. Even you, Bramran, feel the change in the air, and it's to you, Bramran. It reminds you of just that humidity of around the forge after you've had that blast of heat, and there's that change in the air.
Was it similar to
when we got attacked
in the
camp.
in the woods?
Yes. Roll a Constitution save.
Everybody?
All of us?
Everyone.
Okay.
For Bramran though, change yours to Dex, please.
Oh, okay.
Non-natural 20.
I got an 11.
Okay. Non-natural 20, 11,
10.
What are my rolls? I got a 3.
Okay, so 11.
Mine's a 3.
A 3? Okay.
I assume it's been more than... Okay, never mind. My sanctuary spell's worn off by now.
Yeah, it's been a little bit more than a minute.
21.
21. As you guys are making your way and you're booking it, you happen to pass by Barney and she recognizes, she's like, oh, you guys. And as she's saying that, she seems kind of confused, like, what's going on? And immediately a splitting headache just shrieks across your brain, those who got under 15. And Lisa, you happen to trip and fall into Bramran and knock him down. And you hear almost immediately this loud, screeching, grinding sound just echo the loudest it has ever been. It's a split second, and you see a large gash tear across the sky in front of you. Just rip as wide. And
can I see this?
you can see this too. This is fucked up. You see them all affected. Those who got under 15. And just a burst of air, dark smoke shoots through. And almost barraging its way through, like, you know, the football players who go through the thing. You see this large...
Linebackers?
Yeah, linebackers. This large toad-like thing burst through and land. He has moss-colored skin, and it seems to emanate dark smoke. Bones of some creature form its armor, and in its one hand holds a gnarled obsidian staff, up top which rests a ram-horn skull, in whose eye sockets are bright red gemstones that seem to blaze. After that toad-like creature bursts its way in, you see another familiar creature flop out and open its midsection.
More vag faces.
Just one. And this is where we will roll initiative.
Now look, just because that demon creature looks like a toad doesn't mean that it's a toad. Any relation to folk like me is strictly coincidental, and frankly quite insulting to the honest people such as me and mine. And I'm handsome as shit, so I honestly do not understand the comparison. Anyway, our heroes are in quite a predicament, so you'll have to come back next time, and with much better ale, to hear more about these demon days.